I'm asking the reason why I was left off the bus when people could got on the bus before me.
A frustrated Toronto Transit user gets on the bus with his wheelchair and stays in the entranceway, refusing to move until a TTC supervisor comes to take down his complaint. He says he was left waiting in the rain Thursday afternoon after not being able to board several buses. Mark Farrell says this is the ride that broke the camel's back. It was at a bus stop at the intersection here of Don Mills and Lawrence, where Mark says he waited hours to board a bus. Well, today he's speaking out about the incident, which he says isn't isolated.
The second bus came, basically the same thing, telling me he couldn't do anything about it, and left in the rain. The third bus came, and he didn't even open his door. He opened the back door to let passengers off.
We told you about this story and showed you the video yesterday. We blurred the man's face and you heard part of what happened. Mark Farrell is the man in that video. The 44-year-old says he was at the bus stop waiting for the number 54 bus since 3 p.m. on that rainy Thursday. A full bus passed him, which Mark says he understood. But when another bus arrived, he says other passengers were allowed to board the bus, and he was told by the driver there wasn't anything he could do. Then that happened a second time.
If I don't handle my situation, nobody on the bus is going to handle it.
When he was finally able to board an empty bus a little before 6 p.m., he told the passengers he wouldn't be moving until a supervisor arrived.
I was wet. I was frustrated.
Mark says he filed a report with the TTC, but wants to draw attention to the experiences of people with disabilities who use public transit, saying this ride wasn't an isolated incident, and his message isn't only to the TTC, but to other transit riders.
Stop putting the Band-Aid on the problem and fix the problem, man.
What's your biggest concern when you get in front of a bus stop?
So many. You know, number one is the public gonna acknowledge that there's somebody in a wheelchair that needs to get on the bus as well and stop rushing past.
The Toronto Transit Commission wasn't available for an interview, but tells CityNews a route supervisor did speak with Mark, and the incident is now being investigated. The TTC does have bylaws to assist people with disabilities in scenarios like this. A statement from a spokesperson reads in part, operators are to politely ask customers to clear the priority seating area to accommodate a customer with a mobility device. If the bus is full, the operator will notify transit control, who can tell them when the next bus is coming, if there is adequate space to accommodate, and dispatch Wheel-Trans when needed.
I'm doing this so my going about could be easier. You know, my day-to-day life can be easier. You know, I got to swallow pride. I need a ride.
The TTC says it will be getting in touch with Mark early next week. It was a viewer who sent us the original video aboard the bus. If you have a story you want us to look into, here are all the ways that you can get in touch with us. For City News, I'm Faiza Amin.